As a program changer. He said something along the lines of when he goes somewhere, he wants to leave it better than he found it. He wants to elevate the people around him. He wants to be the kind of presence that changes a franchise. And the national media response was, wow, look at this kid, what a leader, what a mindset, teams need to go get him, he might be a first-round pick. Now go back exactly 1 year. Shedeur Sanders said the exact same thing at the Combine. Word for word in spirit. He said, I am a program changer. I do not just make myself better. I make the people around me better. When I come into your organization, things get better. The response from NFL Network, the New York Post, Fox Sports Radio, multiple national outlets was that he was cocky, that he was arrogant, that his attitude rubbed people the wrong way, that he came across as entitled. He got lambasted for saying the exact same thing that Ty Simpson is now being praised for saying. Mark is not going to pretend that is not a double standard. Nobody even knew who Ty Simpson was 2 months ago as a potential first-round pick. Nobody was talking about him as a serious NFL quarterback prospect at the start of this offseason. Whoever is running his publicity deserves a significant raise because they have talked a portion of the league into believing he belongs in the first round. Meanwhile, Drew Aller came to the Combine and threw absolutely beautiful deep balls, showed everything you could want from a developmental quarterback, and barely gets mentioned. The whole thing is crazy season at its finest. 3 more weeks of this before the draft. Buckle up. Now defensive line depth. After what happened when Malik Collins went down with that quadriceps injury last year, this has to be addressed in the draft. Mark is not talking about spending a top pick here. This is day 2, day 3, maybe the back end of day 2. Just finding a player or two who can provide real depth behind Collins, Mason Graham, and the rest of the interior. Some names to know. Caden McDonald out of Ohio State at 6 feet 2 inches and 326 pounds, powerful run defender with good athleticism for the position, and the Brown Scouts were just at Ohio State's pro day, so they have a fresh look at him. Lee Hunter from Texas Tech at 6 feet 4 inches and 318, a wide-body dominant run stuffer. Mark loves that size. Caleb Banks from Florida at 6 feet 6 inches and 327, long and athletic, what scouts are calling a Thanos-like build, plays with violence, and has 2 gap potential. And then Christian Miller from Georgia. And remember, Monken knows every player who came through that program when he was coaching there, so Georgia players always get extra consideration. On the edge, Keldrick Falk from Auburn at 6 feet 6 inches and 276 is the name that excites Mark most. He has length, power, and experience lining up in multiple spots along the defensive front. Ruttenberg is the king of disguising his defense and deploying versatile linemen in unexpected alignments. Falk fits that system perfectly. T.J. Parker from Clemson rounds out the list. High floor, reliable, scheme versatility, a polished defender who can contribute immediately on a depth role. The point is simple. When Malik Collins went down last year, the run defense fell apart. That Tennessee game, where Tony Pollard ran all over the Browns, was a direct consequence of losing one player. That cannot happen again. Day 2 or day 3, pick up an insurance policy. Ruttenberg will have ideas. The names are out there. Now, Marvin Harrison Jr. Mark has been kicking around trade scenarios for weeks and finally landed on one that feels real. First, some context. Kyler Murray is gone, traded to Minnesota. Arizona has no quarterback. They are going bridge route at best while they figure things out. If Harrison is not interested in being part of a multi-year rebuild with no real quarterback on the horizon, something could happen. There are reports the Browns have kicked the tires. Here are the 3 scenarios Mark worked through. Scenario 1. The Browns get Harrison by giving up picks 24 and 39, their first pick in round 2. That is probably enough to get it done, but feels too steep. Selling out 2 significant picks for a player still on his rookie deal is a big swing. Scenario 2. The Browns get Harrison plus Arizona's 4th-round pick at 104 while giving up pick 6 and pick 70. Getting the 4th back softens the blow slightly, but giving up the 6th overall pick means losing the ability to take Carnell Tate or trade back for leverage. That is too much to surrender. Scenario 3. This is the one Mark actually believes in. The Browns send pick 24 and pick 70 to Arizona and get Marvin Harrison Jr. in return. This is a first-round pick and third-round pick for a top 5 selection who is being wasted in a broken quarterback situation. At pick 24, the hit rate on wide receivers historically drops to around 25%. But Marvin Harrison Jr. is already proven to be elite talent. The only issue has been his quarterback situation. Pair him with Shedeur Sanders and Todd Monken's offense, and that talent gets properly deployed for the first time in his professional career. The combo of Harrison Jr. and Carnell Tate would be a generational tandem. Mark is not saying he would definitely make this deal. There is a real argument for staying at 24, taking a Denzel Boston or a late-round receiver on a rookie deal, and keeping the youth movement going with players on cost-controlled contracts. But if the price is 24 and a third and Arizona calls, Andrew Berry needs to at least be in that conversation. Viewer comments. MDH Vancouver comes in with 3 predicted shockers for the draft. The Browns do not take a tackle in round 1 and bet on DeJuan Jones. The Browns take both Tate and Jordan Tyson in round 1, and Arizona trades up with the Jets for Ty Simpson. On that last one, if Arizona is serious about keeping Harrison happy and needs a quarterback immediately, Simpson is a name that makes sense for them. Mark agrees that Arizona could make a move. On taking both Tate and Tyson, Tyson's injury history makes Mark lose sleep. He has his pro day scheduled for April 17th because of a lingering hamstring. If you are hurt in college, you are hurt in the pros. ACLs, hamstrings, it keeps going. Mark does not want to hear it. Big receivers on this roster. Tate, Boston, Fields, healthy players with the size Shedeur needs. Not Tyson. Happy People 9728 says skip the wide receivers and invest in a true number 1, expressing faith in Bond and the existing room. And look, Lance Ristvet, who does serious film work for Cleveland.com, has Caleb Downs as his number 1 player in this entire draft. The Troy Polamalu everywhere on the field safety who changes how every offense has to approach the game. Mark respects that opinion enormously. A 0 wide receiver draft is not completely off the table conceptually. But the top 30 visit list has already spoken. A receiver is coming. Happy people will be happy. Jake Gordon says Tate at 6th and best available left tackle at 24, and today that is exactly where Mark's head is. Flicken says the reign of embarrassment is the entire history of his franchise, and Mark cannot let that one go unchallenged. Go back to the 80s. Go back to the early 90s. This franchise was what the Patriots became later. Playoff contenders every year, respected across the league, a model organization. The reign of embarrassment started when the team moved to Baltimore, taking that history with them and leaving Cleveland with nothing. That is where the frustration comes from. Longtime fans know what this franchise was supposed to be. Getting back to that is the mission. And Anthony Cowell says he busted out laughing at "Save the drama for your mama," and Mark appreciates it. The next best thing after alliteration is rhyming, and that line has both the spirit and the rhyme scheme. Keep them coming. 3 weeks until the draft. Crazy season has 3 more weeks to run. Stay locked in. Go Browns.